The acrid smoke of burning plasma conduits filled the air as Dr. Marcus Chen picked his way through the wreckage of the Galactic Medical Station Harmony. His emergency medical kit bounced against his hip with each step, the familiar weight a small comfort in this nightmare of twisted metal and emergency lighting. The station had been humanity's first attempt at establishing a joint medical facility with the Veridian Empire, and now it lay in ruins after the Shadowclaw attack. "Anyone still alive in here?" Marcus called out, his voice echoing through the destroyed corridors. His medical scanner showed faint life signs ahead, but the readings were unlike anything in his xenobiology database. The signature was clearly Veridian, but there was something else. Something that made his instruments practically vibrate with urgency. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from. And if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. Marcus had volunteered for this assignment, despite the protests of his colleagues at the Terran Medical Academy. Most humans found the idea of treating alien physiology disturbing, even dangerous. The few attempts at cross-species medicine had ended in disaster, with fundamental biological incompatibilities making treatment impossible. But Marcus had always believed that medicine transcended species barriers. Life was life, regardless of its origin. He rounded a corner and stopped short. There, half buried under debris from a collapsed bulkhead, lay the most beautiful being he had ever seen. Her skin held an opalescent quality that shifted from pale blue to silver in the emergency lighting. Her hair, a cascade of crystalline strands, spread around her like scattered starlight. But it was her eyes that caught his breath, deep violet pools that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages, now dimmed with pain and approaching death. "Don't move," Marcus said, dropping to his knees beside her. "I'm Dr. Marcus Chen, Terran Medical Corps." The alien woman's eyes focused on him with effort. When she spoke, her voice was like wind chimes in a gentle breeze, despite her obvious agony. "Princess Lirelei of the Third House of Veridia. You should not have come here, human. The toxin that courses through my veins will kill you if you attempt to help." Marcus's scanner confirmed his worst fears. The reading showed massive organ failure, systemic poisoning, and cellular breakdown at the molecular level. By any standard, human, Veridian, or otherwise, she should already be dead. Yet somehow she clung to life with a determination that spoke of incredible inner strength. "What kind of toxin?" Marcus asked, already unpacking his medical kit. His hands moved with practiced efficiency, pulling out instruments that most of his human colleagues had never seen before, devices he had designed specifically for xenobiological medicine. "Shadowclaw venom," Princess Lirelei whispered, her breath becoming more labored. "It is designed to kill slowly, to cause maximum suffering. There's no cure. My own healers abandoned me hours ago when they realized the futility." Marcus felt his blood run cold. He had read about Shadowclaw venom in classified military reports. It was a bioweapon specifically engineered to target Veridian physiology, breaking down their unique crystalline cellular structure from the inside out. The galactic medical community had declared it incurable, a death sentence worse than any disease. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time. So if you are enjoying it, like this video, it means a lot to us. Now back to the story. "How long ago were you poisoned?" he asked, connecting his portable analyzer to her arm. The device, a fusion of human technology and theoretical xenobiology, began mapping her alien biochemistry in real time. 6 hours, she managed. "The venom should have killed me 4 hours ago. I do not understand why I still live." Marcus studied the readouts with growing amazement. Princess Lirelei's biology was unlike anything he had encountered, even in his extensive xenobiological studies. Her cells contained structures that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, and her blood carried trace elements that didn't appear on any periodic table he knew. But most remarkably, her body was fighting the venom with mechanisms that defied conventional medical understanding. "You're not dying because you're weak," Marcus said, wonder creeping into his voice. "You're dying because you're too strong. Your body is fighting so hard against the toxin that it's literally tearing itself apart at the cellular level." "Princess." Liralee's eyes widened slightly. "That is not what my healers said." "Your healers are thinking like Veridians," Marcus replied, his mind racing through possibilities. "They're trying to purge the toxin, to cleanse your system. But what if we approach this differently? What if instead of fighting the venom, we taught your body to coexist with it?" The princess struggled to sit up, her crystalline hair catching. "The light like prisms. Coexist? That is madness. The venom is designed to kill." "So is chemotherapy," Marcus said, pulling out a device that looked like a cross between a microscope and a miniature particle accelerator. "One of humanity's most effective cancer treatments is essentially controlled poisoning. We introduce toxins into the body that kill cancer cells faster than they kill healthy cells." He began preparing a series of injections, his movements careful and precise. Each vial contained compounds that would have been considered impossible just decades ago. Synthetic proteins that could interface with alien biochemistry. Nanoscale machines designed to repair cellular damage at the molecular level, and most importantly, human stem cells that had been modified to adapt to non-human physiology. "This is untested," Princess Liralee observed, though her voice carried curiosity rather than fear. "If you are wrong, you will kill me faster than the venom." "If I'm wrong, you die," Marcus agreed. "If I do nothing, you die. At least this way. We're fighting back." The princess was quiet for a long moment, studying his face. "Why?" she finally asked. "Why risk everything for someone you do not know? Your own people would call this folly." Marcus paused in his preparations, considering the question. "Because that's what doctors do. We heal. It doesn't matter if you're human, Veridian, or something from the far side of the galaxy. Life has value, and protecting it is worth any risk." Princess Liralee's expression softened, and for the first time since he had found her, she smiled. It was a radiant expression that seemed to light up the destroyed medical bay. "Then proceed, Dr. Marcus Chen. Show me what human medicine can accomplish." Marcus administered the first injection, a cocktail of synthetic proteins designed to stabilize her cellular structure. Almost immediately, his scanner showed changes. The breakdown that had been accelerating throughout her system began to slow, then gradually reverse. Princess Liralee gasped, her back arching as the medication took effect. "What is happening to me?" she whispered, her voice filled with wonder rather than pain. "Your cells are learning," Marcus explained, monitoring the readouts with barely contained excitement. "The nanomachines are teaching your body to recognize the venom as a foreign protein rather than a lethal toxin. Instead of destroying itself trying to eliminate the poison, your system is beginning to metabolize it." The second injection contained modified human stem cells, programmed to interface with Veridian physiology. This was the truly experimental part, the aspect of his treatment that could either save her life or kill her instantly. The stem cells had been enhanced with adaptive properties that Marcus had developed in secret, designed to bridge the gap between human and alien biology. Princess Liralee cried out as the injection took effect, her skin flaring with brilliant light. For a terrifying moment, Marcus thought he had made a fatal error. Then the light stabilized, pulsing gently in rhythm with her heartbeat. Through his scanner, he watched in amazement as human and Veridian cells began working together, creating hybrid structures that shouldn't have been possible. "Incredible," he breathed. "Your body isn't just accepting the human cells, it's integrating them, creating something entirely new." "I can feel it," Princess Liralee said, her voice stronger now. It is as if a part of your essence is flowing through me, teaching my body to heal itself in ways I never imagined possible. The third injection was the most dangerous, an experimental compound that would either complete the healing process or trigger a catastrophic rejection response. Marcus hesitated, knowing that this moment would determine whether his revolutionary approach to xenobiology would succeed or fail spectacularly. "Do it," Princess Lirelei said firmly, sensing his hesitation. "I trust you, Dr. Chen." Marcus administered the final injection and held his breath. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then Princess Lirelei's entire body began to glow with a soft pearlescent light. Her wounds closed visibly, the toxin-induced damage reversing at an incredible rate. Most remarkably, her scanner reading showed that the Shadowclaw venom was being converted into harmless proteins that her enhanced immune system could easily process. "How do you feel?" Marcus asked, hardly daring to believe what his instruments were telling him. Princess Lirelei sat up slowly, testing her restored strength. The graceful movement reminded Marcus that despite her delicate appearance, she was royalty of a warrior race. "I feel different, stronger, as if I have been reborn, with capabilities I never possessed before." She held up her hand, and Marcus gasped as he saw human-style blood vessels visible beneath her translucent skin, working alongside Veridian energy channels in perfect harmony. The hybrid circulatory system was pumping with increased efficiency, carrying both oxygen and the exotic energy that powered Veridian physiology. "What have you done to me?" she asked, though her tone held wonder rather than accusation. "I've saved your life," Marcus replied. "But I think we've done something more than that. We've created the first successful human-alien biological integration. Your body now carries elements of human physiology alongside your own." Princess Lirelei stood gracefully, her movements flowing like water. "The implications are staggering. If what you have achieved can be replicated, it would revolutionize medicine across the galaxy," Marcus finished. "Disease, toxins, even aging, all could potentially be addressed through cross-species biological integration." A distant explosion reminded them both that they were still in danger. The Shadowclaw forces had not abandoned their attack on the medical station, and staying in one place too long would mean certain death. "We need to move," Marcus said, packing his equipment quickly. "Can you travel?" Princess Lirelei tested her balance, then performed a series of complex movements that would have been impossible for someone recently near death. "I believe I am more capable now than I was before the poisoning. Your human medicine has not merely healed me, it has enhanced me." As they prepared to leave the destroyed medical bay, Marcus couldn't help but marvel at what they had accomplished. The princess was not only alive but stronger than before, her hybrid physiology representing a breakthrough that would change everything humanity understood about medicine and biology. "Dr. Chen," Princess Lirelei said softly, placing a hand on his arm. Her touch sent an unexpected warmth through him, and he realized that their biological connection ran deeper than mere medical treatment. "I owe you a debt that can never be repaid." "Just stay alive," Marcus replied. "That's payment enough." As they moved through the damaged corridors toward the escape pods, neither of them realized that their brief medical encounter had created something unprecedented in galactic history. The hybrid cells flowing through Princess Lirelei's system were already beginning to adapt and evolve, creating new possibilities that would soon attract attention from across the known galaxy. Behind them, Marcus's medical scanner continued to record data about the princess's transformed physiology, documenting changes that would soon become the foundation for an entirely new field of medicine. The readouts showed cellular structures that defied current scientific understanding, energy patterns that suggested capabilities beyond those of either species alone, and most intriguingly, genetic markers that indicated their biological integration was still evolving. "The escape pods are just ahead," Marcus said, consulting his scanner. Once we reach the human medical frigate, I can run more comprehensive tests on your condition. And then? Princess Lirelei asked, her violet eyes meeting his. Then we change the galaxy, Marcus replied, surprised by his own conviction. What we've accomplished here today, it's just the beginning. The escape pod's interior hummed with barely contained energy as Princess Lirelei's enhanced physiology interacted with the Veridian navigation systems. Marcus watched in fascination as her fingertips glowed with soft bioluminescence, interfacing directly with the pod's controls in ways that should have been impossible. The systems are responding to me differently, she murmured, her violet eyes reflecting the cascade of data flowing across the holographic displays. I can feel the ship's quantum matrix as if it were part of my own nervous system. Marcus monitored vital signs through his portable scanner, documenting changes that rewrote everything he thought he knew about xenobiology. Her hybrid cells weren't just functioning, they were evolving in real time, creating new neural pathways that bridged organic thought with technological interface. Your brain activity is off the charts, he observed, adjusting his instruments to accommodate readings that exceeded their designed parameters. The human neural enhancers I introduced are amplifying your natural Veridian cognitive abilities. It's incredible, Princess Lirelei breathed, her consciousness expanding through the pod's systems. I can sense other ships in the area. 3. Shadowclaw destroyers are hunting for survivors, but there's also something else. A human medical frigate broadcasting on emergency frequencies. Marcus felt a surge of hope. The U.S. Hippocrates. They're my research vessel. If we can reach them, I have a full xenobiology laboratory where we can properly study what's happened to you. The princess turned to face him, and Marcus caught his breath. Her features had subtly changed during their short time together. While still unmistakably Veridian, there were now hints of human characteristics. The shape of her eyes had shifted slightly. Her bone structure had refined, and most remarkably, her crystalline hair now showed threads of organic protein that resembled human keratin. You're changing too, she said softly, and Marcus realized she was right. Looking at his hands, he could see faint traceries of silver beneath his skin, Veridian energy channels that shouldn't exist in human physiology. The integration is bidirectional, he said with growing wonder. The hybrid cells aren't just healing you, they're creating a permanent biological connection between us. Their moment of discovery was interrupted by proximity alarms. Through the pod's enhanced sensors, Princess Lirelei detected the approach of Shadowclaw interceptors. They've found us, she announced, her voice taking on the commanding tone of trained royalty. 3 fighters closing fast. Marcus strapped himself in as the princess took manual control of their escape pod. Her enhanced reflexes and hybrid cognitive abilities turned their simple transport into something approaching a starfighter. They dove through an asteroid field with impossible precision, the princess's new capabilities allowing her to calculate trajectories that would have challenged military pilots. How are you doing this? Marcus asked as they threaded between massive asteroids while enemy plasma fire lit up space around them. Your human medicine didn't just save my life, Princess Lirelei replied, executing a maneuver that defied physics. It gave me access to human intuition, pattern recognition, and adaptive thinking. Combined with Veridian computational abilities, I can process tactical scenarios at superhuman levels. Their pod shuddered under near-miss impacts as the Shadowclaw fighters pressed their attack. Marcus watched the scanner readings with growing alarm. Their pursuers were gaining ground, and the escape pod's limited shielding wouldn't protect them much longer. There, Princess Lirelei pointed to a massive asteroid with unusual energy signatures. That's not a natural formation. It's a derelict ship, probably centuries old, if we can reach it. She piloted them into a concealed docking bay, just as their pod's shields failed completely. The ancient vessel's automated systems activated, recognizing the princess's royal biometrics and sealing them safely inside. A Veridian exploration ship from the Third Dynasty, Princess Lirelei observed, reading the faded inscriptions on the bulkheads. These vessels were designed for long-range scientific missions beyond the galactic rim. Marcus marveled at the pristine condition of the ancient technology. Everything around them hummed with dormant power, waiting for activation. "How old is this ship?" "Nearly 1,000 years," the princess replied, moving toward what appeared to be the ship's central core. "But Veridian technology is designed for longevity. This vessel could probably fly again with the right activation codes." As they explored deeper into the ship, Marcus's scanner began detecting unusual energy patterns. The readings suggested that the vessel's primary systems were not just functional, but somehow enhanced beyond their original specifications. "Princess," he said carefully, "I'm reading technological signatures that match your current physiology. This ship has been modified with the same type of hybrid integration we achieved." Princess Lirelei's eyes widened as understanding dawned. The experiments weren't new. Someone else discovered the potential for human Veridian biological integration centuries ago. They entered the ship's central laboratory, and Marcus felt his breath catch. The chamber was filled with research data, biological samples, and most remarkably, detailed records of successful cross-species medical treatments. Holographic displays activated as Princess Lirelei approached, responding to her unique hybrid bioprint. "Dr. Kalen Voss," she read from the ship's records. "A Veridian xenobiologist who disappeared during the early expansion period. According to these logs, he was conducting secret research into biological compatibility between species." Marcus studied the data with growing excitement. Dr. Voss had achieved what Marcus thought was impossible: sustainable biological integration between dozens of different species. The records showed successful treatments that enhanced rather than merely cured, creating hybrid beings with capabilities that exceeded their original limitations. "Look at this," Princess Lirelei called out, her voice filled with wonder. She stood before a massive biological chamber that pulsed with the same energy patterns Marcus had detected in her enhanced physiology. "It's not just a medical device. It's a transformation matrix capable of facilitating biological integration on a massive scale." The implications hit Marcus like a physical blow. He wasn't just treating individuals. He was working towards something larger, a fundamental evolution of biological life itself. Princess Lirelei's enhanced consciousness interfaced with the ancient ship systems, downloading centuries of accumulated research directly into her hybrid neural pathways. The process was visible as streams of data flowed through the crystalline structures in her hair, mixing with the organic elements that had developed since her treatment. "The Shadowclaw venom wasn't random," she announced, her voice taking on an otherworldly quality as she processed the downloaded information. "It was specifically designed to prevent this type of biological integration. Someone knew about Dr. Voss's work and created weapons to stop it." Marcus felt a chill of understanding. They're not just trying to kill Veridians. They're trying to prevent the evolution that your transformation represents. Their conversation was interrupted by the ship's proximity alarms. Princess Lirelei's enhanced awareness immediately identified the threat: a massive Shadowclaw battle. Cruiser had found their hiding place and was powering weapons that could crack the asteroid open like an egg. "We can't run," Marcus observed, studying the tactical situation through the ship's sensors. "They've got us trapped." Princess Lirelei turned to him with an expression that mixed determination with something approaching transcendence. "Then we don't run. We finish what Dr. Voss started." She moved to the ship's control center, her hybrid physiology allowing her to interface with systems that had been dormant for centuries. Around them, the ancient vessel began to awaken, its hybrid technologies responding to her enhanced biological signature. "The ship's transformation matrix," she explained, her consciousness expanding to encompass the vessel's entire network. Dr. Vos designed it to create biological integration on a planetary scale. We can use it to enhance not just individuals, but entire populations. Marcus understood immediately. You're talking about forced evolution, accelerating biological development across entire species. I'm talking about survival, Princess Lirelei replied, power flowing through her as the ship's systems came online. The Shadowclaw forces represent stagnation, the refusal to grow beyond primitive biological limitations. What we've achieved, what Dr. Vos discovered, is the next step in galactic evolution. The battle cruiser opened fire, its massive plasma cannons designed to sterilize entire planets. But the ancient Veridian ship's shields held, enhanced by the same hybrid technology that had transformed Princess Lirelei. More remarkably, the vessel began to adapt to the attack, its defensive systems learning and evolving with each successive impact. The ship is alive, Marcus realized, watching biosignatures spread through the vessel's hull. Dr. Vos didn't just build a research station. He created a living organism capable of technological and biological integration. Princess Lirelei nodded, her consciousness now fully merged with the ship's hybrid intelligence. And now it recognizes us as its successors, the next generation of his work. Through the ship's enhanced sensors, they detected something that changed everything. The Shadowclaw battle cruiser wasn't alone. It was part of a massive fleet, moving toward the core worlds of both human and Veridian space. The enemy wasn't just hunting survivors from the medical station. They were launching a full-scale assault designed to prevent the spread of biological integration. They know, Princess Lirelei said, her voice carrying the weight of terrible understanding. Someone among our people told them about your breakthrough, about what we've become. Marcus felt anger building in his chest. His life's work, his vision of medicine that transcended species barriers, was under attack by forces that feared progress itself. Then we make sure they fail. Princess Lirelei smiled, and Marcus saw that her expression now carried elements of human determination alongside Veridian grace. Dr. Vos left detailed instructions for activating the transformation matrix on a galactic scale. We can trigger biological integration across dozens of worlds simultaneously. The risk, Marcus warned, though his scientific curiosity was already overriding his caution. Forced evolution on that scale could have unpredictable consequences. So could extinction, Princess Lirelei replied simply. And we won't be forcing anything. The Matrix only enhances those who are genetically compatible. It's natural selection accelerated, not artificial manipulation. Marcus made his decision with the same conviction that had driven him to treat an alien princess with experimental medicine. Do it. Show the galaxy what biological cooperation can achieve. Princess Lirelei's hybrid consciousness expanded beyond the ship, reaching through subspace to touch compatible minds across dozens of worlds. The transformation matrix awakened, sending waves of evolutionary potential through the quantum substrate that connected all biological life. On human colonies, people suddenly found themselves able to interface with alien technology. On Veridian worlds, citizens discovered enhanced cognitive abilities that rivaled artificial intelligence. Throughout the galaxy, those with the genetic compatibility for biological integration began experiencing the same miraculous healing and enhancement that had saved Princess Lirelei's life. The Shadowclaw fleet found themselves facing not helpless victims, but evolved beings whose capabilities exceeded anything they had prepared for. Their bioweapons, designed to target specific species, proved useless against hybrid physiologies that could adapt and overcome any toxin. It's working, Marcus breathed, watching readouts that showed successful integration events across hundreds of worlds. We're not just changing individuals. We're changing the nature of life itself. Princess Lirelei turned to him, her enhanced features radiant with accomplishment. Dr. Vos would be proud. His 1,000-year experiment is finally complete. As the ancient ship prepared to engage the Shadowclaw fleet with weapons that combined the best of dozens of species technologies, Marcus realized that they had done more than save one life. They had initiated the next phase of galactic evolution, creating a future where the boundaries between species would become meaningless in the face of unlimited biological potential. The battle ahead would determine whether that future would be allowed to flourish or be crushed by those who feared change. But looking at Princess Lirelei, now a living symbol of what biological cooperation could achieve, Marcus felt confident about their chances. After all, they had already accomplished the impossible once.